And something that you said stuck out to me, and it's that people feel guilty about spending a lot of money on items dependent on if they matter. But you also said in your piece that women specifically feel guilty. Can you touch on this more?
Yes. So I specifically tend to focus on financial independence for women. And I think you and I can agree, right? There's a lot of personal finance out there that is kind of rooted in patriarchal points of view. And one of the most common things that was really a struggle for me when I started learning personal finance, especially in the debt-free community, is like, don't spend money on your hair, don't spend money on shoes, don't spend money on clothes. Like, what are you doing, right? But we know as women, let's be honest, we are judged by how we look. We are judged by how we present differently from men. And so that advice to me didn't feel resonant for me. And then when I coached a lot of women, they felt like it wasn't resonant for them either, right? And so often when I find, even when women are making good money, we still feel guilty about spending on ourselves, right? And so the reason I specifically structured the dollar rule was for my clients and for people that I talk to who are saying, I work really hard, but I don't deserve to spend the money on things that I enjoy. And it's like, we don't have to live this way. There's a good balance between saving money and also spending on the things that you're actually going to get really good use out of.
And how do you change that mindset? Because for me, I've been working, me and my older sister started a babysitting 2-for-1 business when we were 11 and 12.
The original Babysitters Club?
The original Babysitters Club. So I've been working for 2 decades now. So how do you change that mindset of, I feel really guilty spending my money?
Yes. So it sounds very cliche, but I highly recommend that everyone get on a budget, but not the budgeting that most people are used to, which is lay out all of the expenses that you're spending and then try to save as much as possible and then like slap yourself on the wrist if you do something bad. I actually teach a lot of folks, and I write about these in my Forbes articles, of structuring your budget where there is a balance between what you need and also what you want, and then also your future. So I look at budgeting. I started people off with 50, 25, 25, 50% spent on things that you absolutely need right now, like your rent and all those things. But a quarter of your budget, it's okay to spend it on the $1 rule, on things that you really enjoy, because I figured out if you try to just do all, just your survive categories, or just trying to save as much for the future, or just focus on paying down debt, chances are you're going to fall off of this. It's no fun, right? It's boring, it's drudgery. And so inserting some of that fun now and being able to say, it is actually okay. Let me give myself permission to spend money, keeps you on the journey on the long run.
It's almost like a money portion control situation.
Yeah.
But like every good rule, there are always exceptions. And you outline an exception to the $1 rule. Tell us about it.
Well, one of my exceptions on this is around experiences, right? And so the dollar rule works really great for things like fast fashion and clothes. Technology is another great area. I used to feel guilty about spending a lot of money on a new phone or a new laptop, right?
But how often are you on that phone?
Exactly. Literally every day, right? And actually I had a student of mine remind me of my own rule one day when I was complaining about having to buy a new phone. And she was just like, doesn't it fit the dollar rule? And I was like, good.
Like, you're taking my advice, yes.
Right? But when it comes to experiences, that's not necessarily most experiences are not going to fit the dollar rule, because a lot of experiences are like a one-time event, right? So what I tell people in using the $1 rule is taking the money that you would have otherwise spent on that item and use that money to splurge on those experiences, because those are actually the things that we're going to end up remembering. And studies show that we actually get a lot more joy out of experiences versus like material items, right? So while the $1 rule is focused around, being very mindful of your material expenses, the point of it too is to free up more money to put towards the things that really matter.
Absolutely.